Colonel Tarleton, am an avid supporter of slave trade. As a British minister of the Parliament of Liverpool, I find it to be very beneficial. I am a slave trade businessman as I own a slave trade ship with my brothers. I am a great influencer of the British Army and was a general. I support slave trade for the various reasons it is useful to our society today. Slave trade is advantageous because it is supported and shown throughout history, it allows the expansion of society and culture, and it allows slaves to be enlightened by a community. At different occasions, slavery has been present in many aspects of past cultures. Slave trade is nothing new, though it may seem like an innovative invention that came around as of the past few decades. It was, in fact, common throughout all of history. Slavery started in Babylonian times, growing and developing since then. It continued till the Middle Ages and beyond. Many people accepted it in past cultures, especially because important people in power supported it. So why should they stop now? Even though it is not directly mentioned in the Bible, one could analyze in biblical stories. People had servants. So slaves are exactly that, servants. Since slaves were an integrated part of temple religions, there is every reason for them to be a part of our lives now. Specifically, because they have raised our economy a great deal, they should not be abolished. Slave trade has brought on many new factors in today's society. Without it, our economy would not be what it is today. With the help of slave trade, government has been stronger and welfare has been promoted. With the increase of slave trade, resources have been more abundant. We get more riches now in Europe than ever before. We receive brandy, gunpowder, and many more treasures. Further, government has greatly supported the idea of slave trade, and going against the government is a crime. With the help of slave trade, wealth and commerce have both largely improved. I, as well as many others, get to live on much better property in much better communities. Although, with this knowledge, many would say that it is unfair to African nations for their populations are decreasing and their states are disappearing. Well, I say, the money made from these descending rates help fuel the ascending rates of the amounts of valuables being traded. With the Africans' help, us Europeans have been able to build more plantations and farms to gain more goods. After all, it is us, white people, who have helped to elevate the African people's status. All along, by bringing slaves into white man's society, we have been enlightening them. We have been able to elevate them from the status which they were in before by raising them in the true scale of white society. We have taught them how to dress, how to dance, how to speak our language, and how to act on the Christian ways. We have helped civilize them, as if it is our job to do so. Society is changing into a more advanced world, and as such, to help the slaves survive, they need to learn to be accepted into white society. Though many could argue that slaves are being mistreated, slaves are actually being brought into the light. Many could complain that the Africans do not like the opportunity they are being given. But that is because they do not see the different situations they are in. They are given an opportunity at a better life than they had before, and as well as the chance to learn to be members of our society. A great example of this would be Olata Equiano. Although he was born an African, after being introduced into white society, he was able to become educated and elevated. With all those benefits given, it is ridiculous for people to say that slave trade is disadvantageous. I, Colonel Tarleton, am completely supportive of slave trade. As a trader myself, I know what slaves really go through. Those who say that slavery is not supported in the Bible, that it is harmful to Africa's populations, or that it is a mistreatment to the African people are wrong. Slavery has been going on since ancient times and is backed up in the Bible. In addition, slave trade has helped our society in terms of power and wealth. Lastly, the slaves brought into our society have been enlightened in the ways of our lives and communities. Given this, it is only reasonable to conclude that slave trade is advantageous. Thank you.